Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to go over the equipment that I use for the podcast and the live chats and the hangouts. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions on this lately. A lot more people are getting into doing these hangouts as content for their YouTube channels. And I've been doing this for about 5.5 years now. Before there was even a Google Plus or Google Hangouts or anything, we used to do it over on Blog TV, and then I made the transition over when they integrated it with YouTube, because obviously it was much more convenient for me as a YouTube channel. And so I get a lot of questions. So what I want to do today is I want to go over all the equipment I use, what it does, how you hook it up, and then I'm going to put links in the description box down below to all that equipment. So if you want to buy any of this stuff, if you want to pick it up, if you want to just look at it, check out specs, whatever it is, you'll be able to go do that and see if it's something that might be right for you. Because as I said, a lot of people are really getting into this, and it's a great way to add content to your channel without overthinking it. Because it's basically just you and some friends in a room hanging out and talking. When you're done, it renders into a video and boom, content for your channel. All right, and what you see here is just a really basic, simple layout. Okay, everything's right there around the computer. So I've got the webcam, the microphone, the mixer, the audio interface, the headphones. With the flip of a switch, I could hop on a podcast, a live chat, a hangout, whatever, and I'm good to go. So let's go ahead and jump right in to the equipment and what each piece does and how you want to use it. All right, first thing up, we've got the audio interface. This is a Lexicon Alpha. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is a sound card on steroids, okay? When you install this, when you plug it in and you install the drivers on your computer is gonna default to this as your sound card, okay? And that's a good thing, because unless you've got a high-end PC with a high-end sound card, this is a lot better than the sound card you have on your PC. Anything that gets run through this as opposed to your computer sound card is going to sound much better. Again, this is a jacked up sound card for all intents and purposes, an external sound card, all right? Even these crappy little Logitech speakers I've got here for my computer sound so much better and get so much louder and are so much crisper just because they're plugged into this as opposed to the sound card on my PC. Now, that's great and all, but where it really matters when it comes to doing live chats, hangouts, podcasts, anything like that, is you need this as a middleman between your mixer, your mic, and everything else. This is the only thing that's plugged into my computer. Everything goes through this to my computer. So my mixer, mic, none of that is actually plugged into my computer. Everything goes through this. And the reason you need that is because without this, you can't hear anything you're pumping in. Let me give you a good example of why that would be a bad thing. I play an intro at the beginning of all my podcasts. If I can't hear that intro, I can't start speaking when that intro's done. I need to be able to hear it to know when that intro, that pre-recorded intro is over, so I can start speaking at the beginning of the podcast. Same thing if you wanted to take phone calls and you had your phone pumped in to your mixer. Without this, you wouldn't be able to hear what that person was saying. Now, your audience could hear all this stuff. Your audience can hear the intro, can hear the people talking on the phone, but you can't. So it makes it very difficult for you to have a conversation with somebody or to begin your podcast correctly. This allows you to plug headphones directly into this, and you can hear everything you've pumped into your mixer along with everything that other people in the podcast might be saying. So that is the biggest reason to have one of these outside of it being basically just a big badass sound card. All right, here we are at the heart of the whole setup. This is the mixer. Now, this one's a Behringer Eurorack 1002 10-channel mixer. This one's actually been discontinued, and Behringer replaced it with the Xenyx model 1002 10-channel mixer. I checked the specs on both of them. They're absolutely 100% identical, except for the color. This one's silver, the new one's dark gray. So that's what I'm gonna put in the link down below, is to the new Xenyx model, because they even sell for the same price. So why get the older discontinued model when you can have the new one for the exact same price? Now, the reason I call this the heart of your setup is very simple, because all your audio goes in here and then it goes out to your audio interface and eventually out to your audience while you're live. So that's the whole point of this. You can have multiple inputs coming in here outside of just a microphone. So here we've got the microphone coming in. This is an Audio Technica XLR microphone cable. Again, this will be in the link down in the description box down below. And that's my line 1, and these are all my adjustments to that audio. Now, I'm not going to go into how to run a mixer. You can either do like I did and figure that out on your own, or you can watch a tutorial. I'm sure there's plenty of them on YouTube, but I'm not going to go into that here. Now, next up, we've got our stereo cables, right? So remember these old school stereo cables, those big 1/4-inch plugs that you used to have to plug into your stereo system back in the 70s and 80s, all right? So you got your line 1, line 2, or your right and left. Now that's your out from your mixer, and it goes around and comes into your audio interface. This one that I've got plugged in here is the only other input that I've got on this mixer, and that's my breakout cable. And we've got our right and left, our line 1, line 2, just like we have there, except it goes around and converts it into a 3.5 millimeter plug that plugs into my phone, or it could plug into a tablet or whatever you have. So people can call in on my phone and the audience can hear them. And of course, thanks to this, I can hear them too. Or I play my intro on my phone. This is where that music for the intro comes in. So any audio you want coming in from a tablet or a phone or anything like that, you can get one of these breakout cables, which again is just it's a 3.5 millimeter to a 1/4 inch breakout cable. And again, I'll put a link in the description box down below. But yes, this is the heart of your system. Those are the cables you're going to need to hook it up. Now let's move on to the microphone. All right, and on to the microphone. Now, this is a condenser mic, and as a condenser mic, that basically means it needs to be powered. So whatever you plug it into has to provide it power. This is one reason why you want to make sure that you hook it up to a mixer instead of your computer. You can hook this microphone up to your computer, but your computer sound card will not give it enough power. It will not pump enough watts to this microphone to make it sound good. It'll sound like any other crappy microphone that you plug into your computer, but plugging it into your mixer, which gets its power directly from your wall socket, it will pump a lot of watts to this microphone and make it sound really, really nice. Now, this is the NW700. It's by a company called Neewer. Now, Neewer is, well, a newer company when it comes to audio equipment, and as such, they're still selling their stuff pretty cheap. Now, I was looking around at some mics that were going to cost me about $100 for the microphone, and then I ran across this, and for the microphone, for the boom arm, for the cord, for everything, was $36 shipped. So the first thing I did was go check out some reviews on this stuff, and it was getting rave reviews. There's a lot of buzz around this company. A lot of people think that as this company gets more and more popular, obviously the prices of their stuff is gonna go up. So maybe go ahead and pick one of these up now. Again, it's only $36 and it's a great deal. And here we are, last but certainly not least, this is my webcam. This is the Logitech C920. It's a 1080p webcam. Man, this stuff shoots beautiful footage, okay? This thing shoots as good a footage as my $400 Sony Handycam does, and trust me, this thing don't cost anywhere near $400, not at all. In fact, I know a few big time YouTube channels that actually use this camera in a lot of their videos. Now, they pull their audio from somewhere else because this thing does not do the best audio compared to like a handheld camera. So you'd have to hook up a microphone or something like that to get good audio. But as far as picture goes, hands down, this thing is amazing. And again, link will be in the description box down below. So if you're looking for a good webcam that's gonna shoot great high definition video and can even double as a camera for just putting up additional videos and content outside of stuff for your podcast, this is definitely the one I would recommend. All right, so I have to mention one more thing about the mixer before I head out. When you're going to buy a mixer, regardless of what mixer it is, make sure you do not get a USB mixer. And the reason is pretty simple. A USB mixer will not hook to an audio interface. It's designed to hook directly into a computer. And as I said, without that audio interface, you cannot hear your own audio that you're inputting into the system to go out to your audience. So make sure you buy a mixer that does not hook up via USB. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully some of this stuff was helpful to some of you guys out there. Hopefully if some of you guys want to get into podcasting or doing live chats or hangouts, even if it's just to add cool content to your channel, this will give you some tips that can help you get the equipment you need to get to do what you want to do. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and we will talk to you later.